You become what you feed your mind. And what I mean by that is, I have an uncle. I would say around a year or two ago, he was in a relationship with this woman. The first time that I met this woman was when my uncle picked me up from a was when my uncle picked me up from high school. I got into the car, I talked to him, and I greeted the woman, but I was not able to formally convey what I felt because she spoke Spanish, which is the language that I am trying to learn, and a language that I've been running from because I feared the oppression that I would be felt if I was not able to connect with the people who were my own heritage. And beforehand, I did not know anything about this woman. And I believed that, I was happy for my uncle. I thought that maybe he'd find the one and that this is for a long time coming. I've seen that he's gone through many struggles, especially being raised by a single mother who did as much as she could with the opportunities that she had for a child. And now, hopefully, he'll be able to also have a family of his own and raise them to be better than he is and to become better people, especially in the world where everything and everyone may or may not be against you, and to raise a better generation in a world that is struggling at the moment. And after this, I continued to hang out with my uncle during the time I was in high school. We'd often go on trips to the car wash and help clean his new truck that he got a couple of weeks ago. And in one instance, there was a time where I had to help him go to his home and help him build a baby crib. And I thought to myself, I'm guessing that they've been dating for a couple of months now at this point. And I believe that, and at the time, I sort of believed that maybe they were going a bit too fast in a relationship. But then again, I myself have not been in a relationship before. I've only been someone who's only watched from the sidelines and see how relationships go and proceed as. But I believe that they were going quite too quick. But I was not going to tell to my uncle because he was happy and I wanted him to be happy. I believe that he deserved this kind of happiness, especially after all the struggles that he went through. And to me, they seemed happy and I was happy for them. And then after this, we went out to get some tacos from a food truck, and the food was quite good, and we got food with her and everything like that. And I thought to myself, I really hope this goes well, and if he needs any support, that I would be able to support him in any sort of way that I can. But at the back of my mind, even though I wasn't able to communicate with this person, and even though I had no preconceived notions of who or what she was or what her background was, I had this inkling of I had this inkling of a feeling that maybe something was amiss, that something wasn't right. I'm not sure what it was. I couldn't place my finger on it, but I felt that something was missing, and I didn't want to say this to my uncle because I did not want him to end up worrying over a belief that was based off nothing but gut feeling, and not facts. And I told myself, there's definitely something missing in this relationship. I'm not the person who is exactly going to be willing to trust every person at face value because I've also had my fair share of people who I believed were my friends and ended up backstabbing me when I was younger. So I've always been quite cautious of people since then because I know the pain of being backstabbed by someone who you thought was your friend and they end up being the person that feels like they're oppressing you for the rest of their life. And the thing is, I know the feeling of being looked down upon by someone you thought was your friend and them selling you out just for them to gain some social credit points. But enough about me. After a couple of weeks, I hung out with my uncle. We were doing these things, helping this lady move into the home, while she also had a child, so she was also a single mother. And at this time, we believed, and she told us that this man had been deported or possibly gone into jail, or they were just separated in some sort of way. And they have been like this for a couple months now. And when I heard this news, I thought to myself, there's a possibility that she may be using my uncle and my grandmother in order to help her pay for the funds to keep her child alive, to keep her life with her child afloat as a single mother. Obviously, I did not say this. I felt it would be rude and inconsiderate for me to say these kind of things, especially while my uncle was having the time of his life. Fast forward a couple of weeks later, my mother broke the news to me that there may be the chance that this woman, my uncle's girlfriend, may be cheating on him. And I thought to myself, well, okay, you're telling me this, but where's the evidence? And she told me, yeah. So my uncle's mother, my grandmother, said that she saw her with a man in a car and saw that this has been happening for a couple of times now. She believed that possibly this may be the man that she was previously in with the relationship with she had the kid with. But at the time, we only had her words to go off of. And once my grandmother broke this news to my uncle, rightfully so, he was conflicted. If anything, sadly, he verbally bombarded my grandmother, saying that maybe she did not want him to be happy, or that she was making things up because maybe she felt there was something wrong with this woman, that she wasn't someone that she could come to terms and be family with. And this continued for a couple of days, and I could only hear from what my mother told me, from my grandmother's perspective, that my uncle was upset and that this woman may be cheating on him. And sadly, my uncle's girlfriend admitted that yes, she was cheating on him, and that she's doing this for a couple weeks now, and that every time she goes into the car in order to drive somewhere to go hang out with her friends, that she was with the man that she told us that she was not with anymore, that they had separated and gone their separate ways. And if anything, I was angered beyond belief that someone would be so devoted, my uncle would be so devoted to someone, to let them have another shot, to let them know that they aren't alone and that they have another chance in this world, especially with someone that many people would disregard because she is a single mother. That maybe she was irresponsible and that maybe she had some problems, but you know what? He was willing to give her the chance to redeem herself and to see what she brought to the table and to genuinely become a happy family, if things were to proceed correctly. But sadly, that was not the case, and we caught her cheating again. And a couple of days after, we ended up having to move her things out from the place, from my uncle's place. And I saw that I was carrying all of these baby, and I saw I was carrying this baby carrier, and I thought to myself, you know, this child has nothing to do with the issues at hand right now. That this child is only, and that this child's fate in life would be only the, and that this child's fate in life would be decided by this woman who made a foolish decision, and if anything, quite childish. And at first I was angry and I wished to break the things that she had because I was moving them. I was physically moving them into a different apartment, and I thought to myself, this is disgusting. I can't believe somebody would do these kind of things. But then I thought to myself that, you know, why should I have to trouble this child? The child has done nothing to me, and now everything's been said and done. I should be the better man. We should be the better person and just let things go. And I'm not saying that I will forgive her. I genuinely never will. And I'm not sure if my uncle has either. I believe he has, which is better than any man that I have known in many years. Willing to forgive someone who has taken his trust and his love for granted and now destroyed the relationship that they could have had. And I'm not making this video to make it sound like relationships are doomed and that everyone that you see that's single mother is a terrible person, that they genuinely aren't. There are many people out there, and I do believe that love is genuinely out there, but I think we need to understand that we understand that love is something that's intoxicating. I myself have never been in a relationship, but I've heard many things about people, especially at my school. I've once heard of this person at my in my high school gym class. He said that he recently broke up with his girlfriend and that he kept texting her and that he was sending her illicit pictures, I believe, of himself. And the thing was, he couldn't separate himself no matter what. He tried to delete the content, he tried to delete the Instagram, but for some reason he could never go through and press that delete app button. He was attached to this woman. This lady gave everything to him. He lost his virginity to him. And mind you, this is someone who is currently in high school, someone that I knew of, an acquaintance, if you must say. And I came to terms and understood that, you know, I'm not, that I'm only a bystander in this relationship, but from what I've seen, that this woman had also ended up cheating on the man, on this guy. And I thought to myself that, you know, maybe love really does make people stupid. And I'm not saying this to shame people, but I believe that maybe it's possible when you're in love that you think that you have opportunity for greatness and to have a relationship with someone, a deep relationship with someone, and be able to have someone that you can call the first family. And knowing that you may have someone that you can start a family with and live the rest of your life happily with, that maybe that you avoid the red flags, that you don't see them, that maybe you're blind to them. And I think that's something very dangerous. And being in a relationship, It's something that everybody once in their lifetime will go through, and it'll be a new experience for everyone. People will do foolish things, but they'll do it because they're in love. And look, at the end of the day, these two people that I've known, an uncle, someone that I considered older brother figure to me, an acquaintance that I've met in my high school gym class, is that we need to practice self-awareness and self-care. Look, we cannot allow ourselves to be in this position and mindset of being that you cannot allow yourself to be self-oppressed. You cannot allow yourself to have these thoughts ruminating that, maybe you weren't good enough, or that this relationship was doomed to fail, or there were other external factors that made this relationship fall. Because here's the thing, once everything is said and done, you need to move on in your life. And I know that this relationship may have been something that you believe would go on for forever, for the rest of your life until you're old and live happily ever after, but sadly life is not like that. And I'm not saying that you should quit on relationships or quit on yourself, but I think that once you get out of these relationships, you need to understand that, look, I have to get on with my life. Shit happens. I can't let myself fall into depression or become or wake up every day knowing that, or saying to myself that I'll never be good enough. And every day you say that, you continue to reinforce the idea that you're not good enough. But this isn't true. You are your biggest obstacle in life, and if you are able to come to terms with yourself and realize that, hey, I have flaws, but guess what? I'm going to work on them, I'm going to address them. Then you know what? You'll feel better. Go to the gym, work out. If you you aren't happy with your body, go work out. Make yourself better. Make yourself feel happy. Give yourself something that you can strive for, something that makes you happy. But don't run away from your problems. Many people have gone through hardship, and many people have fallen and sadly taken their lives, and I don't want anyone else who has gone through these kind of hardships to take their life as well. Life is something precious, and it was once something that I myself wanted to throw away because I was in a situation where I believed I had no chance of living. And luckily I was able to get out the position because I had people, friends and family that loved me and cared about me truly. And you know what? You may not be in the position where you have people, but guess what? There are people out there. There are millions of people out there who are suffering just like you, but know that every day that you continue working and bettering yourself, that it's another person that's being saved, another family that's being born, another child that's being birthed, another story that's being told. And try to understand that relationships with a girlfriend or boyfriend sadly may be only temporary, but relationships with family is forever. Once you're on your deathbed, maybe you won't be in a relationship, but at the end of the day, you'll have people who love you for who you are, and that'll be your family and friends. So take those hardships and don't allow your angst, your fear, your anxiety of not being in a relationship, not having a girlfriend or boyfriend, allow yourself to become a worse person and deprive yourself of what you can become in your potential. I know it'll be a struggle. It's a struggle that I can't say that I personally understand, but I know that it's going to be hard. But continue moving, move on to the light at the end of the tunnel, and know that as long as you're trying your hardest and that you are putting your best effort and your best foot forward, that all the hardships that you've gone through will only be memories, and that don't let these memories hold yourself back from becoming the person that you are meant to become for greatness, and you will live up to that potential. I know you will. We all know that you will. Even though you may not see us or hear us, you'll feel our support, and I believe in you. Thank you for watching.